So yeah, we are now 4 weeks into the government shutdown, and it's taking a serious toll on the economy. The Congressional Budget Office released a new analysis showing the longer this shutdown drags on, the deeper the economic damage will be.
So this shutdown is projected to cut real GDP growth in the fourth quarter of 2025 by 1 to 2 percentage points, depending on when it ends. Here's what that means for you. $7 to $14 billion in lost economic activity that will never be recovered. It's just gone. Meanwhile, the shutdown has delayed between 33 and 74 billion in federal dollars, including employee pay, government contracts, and of course those SNAP benefits we've been talking about. And that economic pain hits our friends and neighbors, and it's becoming increasingly clear from retail to real estate.
Our chief investigative reporter Eric Flack spent the day digging into some of this data here. And Flack, analysts, they tell you those impacts could grow even worse the longer this shutdown goes on, right?
We just don't know, Zoe, how bad it's going to get. But keep in mind, the last extended shutdown cost D.C. nearly $50 million in lost revenue. And this one already about to hit the 30-day mark. Across the DMV, the housing market is now showing signs of strain after an already tough year.
Obviously, the Doge effect is still a big deal. The uncertainty about tariffs creates economic uncertainty, and certainly the shutdown, the longer it lasts, is creating apprehension both on sellers' and buyers' parts.
Data released Thursday from the housing website Realtor.com reveals the impact. Page views on new home listings down more than 11%. New listings down 14%. The region facing economic headwinds even stronger than during the last extended federal shutdown.
We're in a different, maybe more precarious and uncertain housing market right now than we were before. And I think that that's something to really keep in mind about this shutdown versus past. Especially when we think about where DC was leading up to the shutdown with respect to, uncertainty and reduction in the federal workforce that was going on, even independent of this government shutdown.
That last extended shutdown, a record 35 days in 2018-2019, cost D.C. an estimated $47.4 million in lost revenue. The CFO says data on this shutdown's revenue impact won't be available until late November or early December. But Bank of America credit and debit card data released this week shows D.C. consumers are already pulling back. Total card spending per household down more than 1% since the shutdown began. Numbers that could worsen if the housing market continues its downward trend.
The housing market has an effect on the overall national economy. It is one of the main drivers of so many different aspects of our economy. So that if housing goes into a slump, it has led the way to almost every recession over the last 50 years.
That is a very scary thought, but we're not there yet, and that's important to caution. Experts say the current slowdown is a market correction after the generational housing boom during COVID, when rock bottom interest rates sent home prices through the roof. But the longer this drags on, the greater the risk of long-term economic impacts. Guys, we just don't know how bad it's going to get.
Well, it seems like everyday Americans seem to be getting this. The question is, are the lawmakers getting
Apparently
it?
not. No,
We need to get it soon.
Yeah, hopefully they will. All right, Flack, thank you.